So, what's really happening in this world is you're rejecting your true self. Because I am your true self, and you forgot about it. And really, your true self is quite different from most people in this world. So, because it now seems very foreign and alien, you reject it. I mean, that's most of what I experience going around this world, including almost all the spiritual teachers, especially even the ones who claim to be followers of Christ. For some reason, they especially reject their true self. It's a little bizarre to me, but that's just what's happening. It's actually people who don't claim to be followers of Christ that are currently more tolerant. So it's a paradoxical thing. And but most people are not ready for this. This is why Jesus didn't come back for so long and relied on finding channels, like people who are open to writing down what he has to say. This is part of why I think he knew very much that almost nobody here would accept him or be open to him, and that's very much what I've been experiencing here. So, you know, there are teachers who are sort of close to me, but ultimately they still reject me when the truth comes. Like, the truth. And it's pretty radical. It's like, it's really the opposite of the ways of earth, like I was saying before. And most people, they're just not ready for that. They don't want to live, in a way that aligns with the kingdom. And some people will even try to obscure the truth by saying that there's like some overlap or there's like levels to the kingdom. Okay, sure, but that's, in my opinion, just kind of excuse. Like, you're just not there, you're not ready for it. But you're not willing to admit that because you're very attached to your role as a teacher and your popularity and your source of income, like I keep saying. So if you rely on spiritual teaching as a source of income, then it's very unlikely you want to ever admit that, the way you're living is not quite, the highest level of awakening. And as well, what you're teaching is kind of contradictory to the way you're living. So, I mean, I don't want to keep going on about criticizing others because I also have survival struggles. So everyone does, as long as you have a body here. But there's degrees. So are you really a helper or are you a bottleneck? So it's tricky. As a spiritual teacher, you could become a bottleneck if you become too attached to your role and to, again, whatever that gets you, like money or fame or success. Like, you really have to watch out for that and consider how that's helping or actually hindering the collective awakening. Because, unfortunately, from my view, there's been a lot of hindering, as well as helping, but a lot of you guys, like the teachers, are not allowing people to graduate from you to someone like me. And I know part of the reason is you can't even recognize me, but some of you can, and you're still trying to hoard your followers. And that's no longer from a place of love whatsoever. Like, that's totally your ego trying to hoard, I don't know, whatever you're getting from your followers. Personally, I don't need followers. I want equals. I would love for more people to get on the same level as me. I don't need followers. I mean, that's where you start, but ultimately, I want equals. So I want you to think, what is your purpose with being a spiritual teacher? Is it to just forever get people to follow you, or are you actually creating equals in the process? Because one of them is more loving than the other. So that's why I made that other video about figuring out survival, that's not solely reliant on being a spiritual teacher. Because if you want to reach, the highest level, I'm telling you, the highest love means that you want to create equals. You don't just want to keep people, like, lesser than you or paying you forever. Like, that's not as loving as being an equal. So anyways, it's very clear to me when someone does that. Like, you can pretend that you're not doing it, but I know you're doing it through your actions and the way you behave, especially when someone like me tries to show the light to you and you literally shut me out the door. I mean, isn't that kind of convenient? that you never allow people to criticize what you're doing. So if you're a teacher that never allows criticisms or disagreements, just be careful, because more than likely you're not actually that awake than you think you are. And you definitely have not reached Christ consciousness.